Hello, everybody. We'll be doing a premium ship review of USS Congress today. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, USS Congress is currently available for $45.20 in the premium shop at the moment. It is a variation of Alaska with two less guns, same armor, one less heel, pretty much. I don't know why they named it Congress. More fitting name would have been an American territory like USS Hawaii, for instance, but USS Hawaii wasn't even based on this design. It was an unfinished Alaska class. Pretty close to being finished, too. But if you want something similar to Alaska, Congress exists here with two less guns. I'm going to get into what my skills are for Congress. I have Grease the Gears, Gun Feeder, Priority Target, Focus Fire Training, Superintendent. In the future, I will be getting the Concealment module on it. Suppose I'll go with the Outnumbered, actually, when I think about it. Skills are just sort of all over the place because Congress really needs a lot of support skills in order to be effective. At least in my experience with Congress. Maybe others have had a better experience, but further ado, we're going to go over what we got here. We got forward plating 27 millimeters, for end deck 27 millimeters, armor belt 229 with 178 millimeter stretch, 27 millimeter side plating, 28 millimeter side plating, frontal plate 325, top of turret 127, deck 36 millimeter in the middle. That section of the conning tower, which is 127 millimeters. The superstructure plating is 16 millimeters. Back turret again 325, top 127, sides 133 and 152. Got a section of 16 right here. Aft deck is 27 millimeters. Aft end plating 27 millimeters. A small section of 269 millimeter armor belt right there. And here, around the rudder, we have 40 millimeters on the bottom and a section of 40 millimeters of the citadel bottom. Take that off, take that off. Citadel deck is 19 meters. Citadel torpedo bulkhead is 26 millimeters. Citadel warship is a 260 millimeter section and a 51 millimeter section, with the bottom being 40 millimeters. Citadel's nice and under the water, which is good. Citadel warship is 260 millimeters. Bottom Citadel warship 51 millimeters. Survivability is 51,150 hit points, which is pretty good for a tier 8 cruiser. Torpedo protection, damage reduction 13%. Artillery 2x2, 305, a reload of 22 seconds. We have 1x3 again with a reload of 22 seconds, range of 17.5 kilometers, and we've got some secondaries. 6.9 kilometer range on those. Main battery fire range is 17.5 on this ship. Got a decent AA Aurora. Continuous damage 291. Damage by shell explosions 1,500. Priority sector reinforcement 50%. Firing range 5.8 kilometers for AA. Maximum speed is 33 knots. Turning circle radius is 850 meters. Rudder shift time is 7.8 seconds. Concealment 15 kilometer. 0 to 15 kilometer for subs. Detectability by air 9.7. Assured detectability range is 2.0. Equipment I have on Congress is steering gears mod 2 because I like maneuverability. Damage control system mod 2 because I like to protect from damage a bit. Aiming systems mod 1 to make the guns more accurate. Damage control system mod 1. And of course, main armaments mod 1. Radar action time is pretty long on Congress, which is somewhat decent. We got two choices here. We got defensive AA, or we got hydroacoustic. Pretty good ranges there. We have surveillance radar, fighter, and spotting aircraft as well on Congress. And here's your stats here, basically going over the same things pretty much. Signals pretty much keep the standard recommended ones. Some India Yankee, some Juliet Yankee Bizzo 2. So here we go. I'm going to pull Congress into a co-op because I try to bring it into randoms and it'll melt from the HE spam pretty much. So I like to do reviews in co-op for a reason. It's more controlled environment. You're just facing bots and not against other players. If you're facing against other players, there's a lot of variables to consider. People are going to do things obviously differently. They have their own unique stats and all that. Here we go, Congress. Alright. Got a nice roundup all at tier 8. Oh, we got some tier 7. Some tier 6s. This should be an ideal scenario for Congress. Here we go. Like I said, it's $45.20 inside the Origin Premium shop. Make your own decisions. Make your own decisions on whether you want to get it or not. That's up to you. It's a little cheaper than Wichita, so there's that. And the fact that it's similar to Alaska. Have Alaska and you want to get a feel for Alaska, this is pretty much Alaska, just with 2 less guns than at tier 8. I'm going to really annoy the hell out of destroyers. Get that radar mod equipped for Cole. That'll extend out the action time of the radar a little bit. I'm going to keep a good distance away from the caps. Get too close, you're going to get blown up by HE spam and armor piercing shells pretty quick. Just gotta get nice and slow here. Some support from this graph spay. One bot on the team, which is good. The rest of this versus bots are human. Got my little 1-year anniversary flag on Congress. We got that World of Warships anniversary, which just passed here this last Friday. Hopefully Wargaming hasn't done anything silly since then. This was recorded ahead of time in case you can't tell. I'm just not feeling too well. So I'm trying to get these, trying to crank out a couple of these reviews for you all. So hopefully you enjoy. Congress's strong point obviously being the 305mm guns, which can pack a punch. Obviously, some gonna overmatch on some ships here because of the caliber of the guns. But you get in close enough, you should be able to citadel a couple of ships. I find that the ship is best played in co-op. Bringing it into randoms, it's just gonna melt like butter a lot of the time.
Torpedoes, direct front.
And as you can see, you don't have any anti-sub warfare. Best strategy is going to be just keeping your distance away from the middle of the cap when you see a sub, because they can ping you. And you're already got fires burning for 60 seconds on you, which I think they should really just change because they're putting subs in the game now. You know, there's no point to having a long fire duration on these guys. Bring it down to 45 seconds at least. A good hit on Otago there. It's flooding damage, gonna repair that.
We're taking on water quickly.
The AA is pretty decent on Congress.
Our team is taking the lead.
some more Citadel hits because we're pretty close. See that that ship is down. You can even do some damage to battleships if you aim it right. Demonstrate now. It's against Nagato. We got a nice roll for 2,900. Want to be able to switch between the two shell types when possible. Shells do good with the armor piercing, of course. Tends to be a trait of a lot of American heavy cruisers or super cruisers in this case, is that the armor piercing is pretty reliable. Of course, having the fact that 305mm caliber is also pretty good too. Not going to be able to really get in that Citadel armor too much on the battleships though. Let's see what we got. We got a bot Dutch cruiser here, trying to just slow down. I'll slow down here so I can actually get a shot on this cruiser here. Good hit there.
Cruiser destroyed.
See here, you can just dominate if you're in a lower tier battle pretty much.
Roger.
Attentie, hier de positie van het doelwit.
Oh, I got it. You can see here, you can't have fun with Congress, but I prefer just to put it in co-op versus randoms. You just melt like butter in randoms these days with this ship. So you're gonna probably want to go with the spotting plane rather than the radar, especially if you're more new to the game. And please note that you do not have anti-sub weapons as of patch 10.8. I don't know if maybe they've changed that in the future, whenever you're watching this, but if they have, great. If they still have it, then that's a big mess up on Wargaming still. Didn't give all ships some anti-sub warfare. So yeah, it's something they gotta look into, and they gotta fix some stuff with the game, obviously. Torpedo bug, still got that issue in 10.8 here. You can see here the whole round is prolonged because we got submarine underneath the surface there, which we can't do much about because it's underneath the waves so much. There's literally nothing I can do to the submarine right now because I have no depth charges, I have no anything. It's literally at maximum depth where I can't hit them.
I need help.
So you're going to want to request support from your teammates. So we got a helpful teammate that's launching down some depth charges on the sub. Radar's not going to do you much unless they're at operating depth. Changes on subs really make sense now because you really are like a sitting duck if you can't find the darn submarine. Pretty much if you have no anti-sub warfare, which I think is ridiculous. I think you should give them one charge of depth charges at least on the bigger ships. They should have something to deal with things. If the battleships are getting the darn planes that drop depth charges, then these super cruisers should be getting something too to deal with the submarines. I guess that's maybe the new operating philosophy when it comes to balance, is just to let subs handle the balance and not even bother to add anti-sub weapons to everything. Sub is surfacing here.
Problem solved, sir.
See there that I rammed the sub and I just took it out. When you get an opportunity, you gotta seize it. And ramming subs really does not cause you much damage, so it's worth it. I hope you like this review of Congress. It's available in the premium shop as of 10.8 for $45.20. Hopefully Wargaming doesn't pull some scummy trick of theirs and pull it out and give you like the FOMO, fear of missing out nonsense. If the ship is removed for whatever reason, it'll eventually come back in some form, so don't worry. I find it to be fun in co-op. Randoms is a different story. It's harder to get Congress to work in randoms. That's why I added in a lot of support skills. But otherwise, thank you for watching my video today on USS Congress. It is available in the premium shop for $45.20. Please like, watch, and subscribe for future World of Warships content and mobile gameplay content. Thank you for your support.